I hope you now have a fairly good knowledge about the basic settings available in Lightroom for image corrections. Your images should now look better than what they were before, but you might still have the nagging feeling that something is missing. Welcome to the Adobe Lightroom Club. If you have not seen my earlier video about corrections in Develop module of Lightroom, I recommend that you watch it before going ahead in this video. Click on the link above or check it out in the description. Hi, welcome to the 6th episode. My name is Avanindra and you are watching my series on step-by-step guide on using Adobe Lightroom. You have already seen the basic adjustments required to enhance an image. Now for some special corrections in Lightroom's Develop module. By pressing the first button in the tool strip, the Crop Overlay subsection opens up. Click one of the corners while holding down the Shift key on your keyboard, constrain the crop area to a specific dimension and drag it to resize the crop area. Pressing the Done button crops the image to the new dimension. Going back to the crop overlay section, you can recompose and resize the crop area. Yes, Lightroom crops your images non-destructively. If you need to crop in standard dimensions like 4x6, 5x7 or 8x10, you can click on the up and down arrow. A dialog screen with the standard image ratios will appear. Choose the one required or create your own customized ratio and crop. To straighten an image, hover your cursor just outside the edge of the photo until your cursor changes to a curved double-ended arrow. Click and drag to rotate the image within the frame, using an overlying grid as reference until the horizon line is level. You can also use the angle slider to rotate the image. Lightroom will automatically level an image if you click on the Auto button. Another method to straighten your image is by selecting the Straighten tool. You can drag it over your tilted horizon. Lightroom will then rotate the image to a proper angle. Once you have straightened your image, press the Done button to confirm the new crop. The Reset button at the bottom of the crop window resets all the cropping options you have applied. After you are satisfied with your edits, easily copy all the corrections including crop settings to other images. This is where the copy and the paste buttons at the bottom of the left panel comes in handy. When you click on the copy button, a setting window opens, where you can select the settings that you want to copy. Then click Copy. Now select a similar image from the film strip at the bottom of your screen. Click the Paste button. The edits chosen gets copied to this new image. You can also paste chosen edits to multiple images. Just select using the film strip and paste. The previous button at the bottom of the right hand panel works a little different than the copy paste buttons. Say you have done some corrections to an image. You can easily apply the same corrections to the new image by clicking the previous button. You need not use the copy and the paste buttons. But remember, previous button applies the settings of whichever image you clicked on before the new selected one. Coming back to the tool strip, the second button is the Spot Removal tool. Why do you need a Spot Removal tool? The Spot Removal tool is very useful for removing small objects from an image, such as blemishes, sensor dust, or stray hair. The settings you need to set here are the brush size, feather, and opacity, along with the heal and the clone buttons. When you click on the area of your image which has unwanted things, Lightroom will search for a replacement area and show you both the replacement and the replaced area with an arrow in between. You can click on any pair and adjust the replacement area as required. Or press the delete button on the keyboard to remove it completely. The red eye correction tool is a quick and easy way to correct the annoying red eye one sees in a person or a pet. Starting at the center, draw a circle over the affected red area. Adjust the pupil size and darken slider for perfection. Click on the Done button. Similarly, pet eye correction helps you correct unnatural eye colors in your image. I suppose you have been thinking up till now that Lightroom's editing tool applies corrections to the entire image. But you are wrong. Lightroom's graduated filter, the radial filter and the brush tools can apply loads of corrections to selected parts of an image. Interested to know what are the correction options available? You can set the white balance, exposure and contrast, including highlights, shadows, whites and blacks. You can also adjust clarity, sharpness, the dehaze amount as well as saturation. You can even reduce noise and moire or even difference from a selected area. Don't believe me? Here's how it is done. The graduated filter, the fourth button on the tool strip, can do just that. Bright overexposed skies with clouds and a dark foreground is a perfect candidate for a graduated filter. Once you click on the tool, you will see a panel similar to the basic options, with sliders for color temperature, exposure and more. Click and drag the mouse over where you want to apply the effect. You can move your mouse in a straight line or at an angle depending on the image to be corrected. You can now adjust the exposure as well as the white balance, making the sky a bit bluer, or even use the dehaze tool to eliminate some fog. You can have multiple graduated filters on one single image. Click on the New button and create a new graduated filter with different settings on a different part of an image. The radial filter tool enables you to create multiple off-center vignetted areas to highlight specific portions of a photograph. To create a radial filter, click and drag the mouse across the region of interest. This will draw an elliptical shape, which determines the area that is affected or excluded from the adjustments. You can edit an existing radial filter by clicking any of the grey handles. A panel similar to the basic panel will open where you can choose to reduce the exposure, saturation and sharpness of the portions outside the selected mask. An inverted mask checkbox determines the portions where the adjustments will be applied. If you need to do local corrections to an image selectively, the adjustment brush is the way to go. Just the way you paint in the area where you need adjustments to be done using a brush. You can hold down the Alt Option key to erase a particular adjustment area. Now for some shortcut keys. Pressing the R button on the keyboard takes you to the Crop Overlay tool strip. Pressing the Q button on the keyboard takes you to the Spot Removal tool. For graduated filter, press the M key, while pressing the Shift M will take you to the radial filter. For adjustment brush, press the K key on the keyboard. Now for the secret adjustment brush settings. You can whiten teeth, soften skin, iris enhance or even darken or lighten part of an image using the adjustment brush. The brush button on the graduate filter and the radial filter tools is used to add or subtract the mask area. You can adjust the size, feather as well as flow of the brush. The auto mask button allows you to mask perfectly. To view which area is masked, tick on the show selected mask overlay button. Pressing the Alt Option key on the keyboard turns the brush into a subtracting brush.